All higher things going for everyone. Greetings from the Crypto Zedic channel. Again, the title makes it clear that we will be discussing everything related to XRP. Thank you for your support. Looking at the market as a whole, you can see that several coins have experienced a slight decline in value over the past few hours, which is evident given that Tuesday morning is quickly approaching. However, we cannot overlook what has been going on in the cryptocurrency area in the larger context. Lots of excitement and lots of green. At $2.28, the price of XRP is currently down 1.1% in USD and 0.4% in comparison to Bitcoin. The 24-hour trade volume is approximately $3,700,000,000, 0 cents, and the valuation is $133,400,000,000, 0 cents. Before we continue though, let me just quickly clarify that nothing on this channel is financial advice. Always conduct your own research and due diligence before making a cryptocurrency investment. I would really like to begin by discussing the volume of searches that Google Trends shows us. We've noticed a slight increase in Google Trends searches during the past week. Many people are seeking for XRP before everyone starts bouncing around and becoming enthusiastic. It's not true, despite popular belief. In the big scheme of things, we are still very, very low for searches worldwide. If you look at the last 90 days for XRP, what does this actually teach us then? This indicates that retail interest is now lacking. This does not imply that there is absolutely no retail interest. Retail interest is always present, of course, but we are clearly far from what we've seen in this year's first quarter and fourth quarter by comparison. These are important considerations that we shouldn't be ignoring. However, within the last, say, a week and a half, we are aware of what has transpired with the cryptocurrency markets as well. The market did experience a surge, which is naturally caused by Bitcoin. It is important to note that Bitcoin has been retesting in the 23.6 fib zone. The level of dominance is really high. Essentially, the reason altcoins are still seeing such significant increases is because, as you may already be aware, Bitcoin has increased and they have a positive correlation. However, in the big picture, institutional interest is driving this particular general run at the moment. However, the market is once again turning green, which naturally makes no one particularly unhappy. Let's move on to the update. There has been some breaking news from Canada. Greetings to all Canadians worldwide. Every single one of you is loved. This is something you can all witness for yourself. For Canada, it was a significant day. The Liberal Party wins the 2025 Canadian election under the leadership of Prime Minister Mark Carney, the former governor of the Bank of England, who is well known for taking a balanced but critical stance on Bitcoin, has promised to position Canada as a leader in cutting-edge technology. Guess what's occurring now? Donald Trump won the US election last year. The neighbors now include Mark Carney. Again, I am aware that certain Canadian fans may not be pleased because, as I've read, some individuals are not pleased with this, but you know, it is what it is. It's triumphant. I'm not going to share my political views, but this is obviously significant in terms of cryptocurrency statistics because the individual has a good perspective on the subject. As you are aware, the US cryptocurrency business is now getting regulatory certainty. Is it likely that such will occur under Mark Carney? I think so. It's a massive, huge moment for cryptocurrency once more. And let's see what happens, you know. Please share your personal opinions with me below. Regardless of your personal opinion, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF saw its second largest inflow since its introduction on April 28th, purchasing 10,360 Bitcoin for a total of $970,900,000, 0 cents. You're from Canada, the major players are holding their Bitcoin. Your big institutional money or smart money is accumulating Bitcoin as quickly as possible while retail is concentrating on other things. As you can see, BlackRock has conviction and is a holder. It amuses me that grayscale people are weak-headed. Look at this, folks. FOMO Pay, a partner of Ripple Payments, has collaborated with MasterCard via virtual ID numbers. Once more, you can see which entities these folks choose to cooperate with when it comes to Ripple. They are not partnered with some huge entities or some little entities. Here is MasterCard. As you can see, there are some well-known brands. Naturally, you're able to see where the blockchain industry's true potential resides. Furthermore, it is evident that Ripple steps in to remedy the problem as demand increases. From that perspective, it's really fascinating. Look at this. Zoom confirms that the market is still in a bull market. Avoid being shaken out. And if you've been watching my channel since the beginning, you'll know that I've been saying this on a daily basis before Zoom even mentioned it. I was stating that we are still in a bull market, even after the market saw a significant decline. People were claiming that you were crazy for stating it. We have now returned to the Fibonacci retracement level of 23.6 And now everyone is having a good time. Everyone is bouncing around, and I'm seeing some remarks. I don't like to point fingers, but I find it hilarious because even when the market was heading in the wrong direction, I was still stating that historically speaking, we were still in a bull market. Once more, I find it hilarious that some of the folks who were saying, I'm crazy to think that we're in a bull market, are now part of the moon guys. Thus, in the big picture, we're continuing on this rising track. So that's what it is. We are still in a bull market if you look at the cryptocurrency market's valuation. I completely agree with Zoom's overall perspective on this. And is Bitcoin on the verge of reaching a new all-time high? Maybe. Furthermore, given the rapid rise in dominance, altcoins may be about to enter their season if we do break through an all-time high. I don't understand why Bitcoin can't begin to rise to its highest point ever, but let's look at this. We're in the middle of a once-in-a-lifetime transition, Citi stated last year. The digital architecture is being used to repackage the financial system. You shouldn't take this time lightly, just as smart money does. As said last year, we are finally beginning to see that this is actually happening in front of our very eyes. However, let's examine the current state of the pricing. Let's examine the dominance on an hourly basis. If you're examining it directly, you're observing the dominance, which has remained within this accumulating pattern since our re-emergence on April 21. This range still applies to us. Dominance remains extremely high. If you're looking at Bitcoin, at the moment it did experience a slight decline, but nothing too significant. As previously stated, we closed over 95,000 and did return above that level. Bitcoin is holding up quite well. That's good to see then. If you're looking at XRP at the moment, it's still on the rise. As I mentioned in my previous report, we reached a new yearly high. It's okay if you didn't end up watching it. For the first time since late March, we did manage to reach a new monthly high of $2.35. Everything is going okay so far. XRP is still holding up rather well. It goes without saying that we are encountering significant opposition. As previously mentioned, you want to see this resistance turn into support so that we may retest the 23.6. However, we must proceed cautiously. Please share your thoughts with me below. I adore you all. I'll see you later. Peace out. I've been CryptoZ Next.